which one people like you on and which ones work best.
Yeah, I mean, Justin's absolutely right. Like, that's the thing. So
you're making that my ringtone for Ryan.
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Ryan.
And I'm Justin, and this is Pods on Marketing, where we talk real estate marketing specifically for agents, whether you're new or used or have been in the business forever. Today, we're going to be talking about the basics of online presence. So we'll do another one later. If you're an experienced realtor, think of this as like a checklist.
Right.
Like, see if you have all these things, and if you don't, it's pretty easy to get these things filled in. So when you think about the first steps for a little baby realtor on the little baby internet, what do you think of?
So first things first, I mean, you want to look professional. So you want to have your email. After that, website.
Let's talk about email for a second and website. You don't want to have your email be scotty22@aol.com. I'm sorry to pick on the AOL address. AOL, Yahoo, and Hotmail, and I still see realtors out there. You are being successful, but you should get a professional email.
Yes.
And this ties into your website.
Yes. I mean, at the end of the day, like if someone is counting on you to do a transaction, one of the largest transactions of their lives for hundreds of thousands of dollars, I mean, I'm sure they would appreciate a professional email. So definitely want to move away from anything, honestly, except for your .com if you're really trying to.
Yeah, so when you're looking for a domain, you can use places like GoDaddy or Namecheap. Yes. But you want to find a domain that is easy to remember, easy to type in, and preferably ends in a .com. Yes. There's others, you can do a .co and some other stuff. But .com's the most common. It stands for company originally. So when you're looking, you can just add real estate or homes. I know some people have Real Estate Ninja in their domains. So find one that fits your personality.
Yes. At
the very least, some part of your name in real estate, justinrealestate.com. I don't know if it's available. It's probably not.
I doubt it.
If it's not, somebody bought it now.
Yeah.
But use Namecheap or GoDaddy and find it, and that ties into your email.
Yeah, and like those are like the basics of looking truly professional. Aside from that, Google My Business is a big one.
Huge one. So if you haven't done that before, it's not hard to do. And there's some things that kind of go in a row here. Once you get a domain name,
yes,
that means that you can set up a website at that domain, which we'll talk about in a second. But it also means that you can have email hosted somewhere. Some places like GoDaddy and Namecheap and other registrars will offer an email service. But if you like Gmail and you're used to using Gmail, you can sign up for a Gmail, and it's about $14 a month to have a full Google workspace. And that means you get docs, you get images, you get all this storage space. You also get sheets and things that you can use to support your clients. And for that $14 a month, you can set up justin@justinrealestate.com as your email, and you log into it, and it's your Google.
So same Google platform, Google based, but you get the professionalism of the customized email. And that's the benefit. I mean, Google is, it's home to online searches for the most part, right? So the Google My Business, that's something that we actually come across and run into a lot, even with agents that are more seasoned and been in the business for a while. But having your Google My Business, that's the main one we use as an example. But when doing it, I always recommend making a Bing My Business, all major search directories. By doing that, you're setting a nice groundwork, a nice foundation for your online business, and most importantly, your online footprint.
Yeah, and with Google My Business, there's a couple things to keep in mind. Because you're a realtor, you're considered an independent contractor that hangs your license under a broker. That brokerage will usually have an address and office. When you're signing up for your location, you use your broker's address where you hang your license, and then underneath that, again, using myself as an example, I am not a realtor, so this isn't real, this is an example. I would be Justin, and I would be hanging my license say I hang it at Simply or United or Life, wherever I hang it. I put their address in, but then the name of the business is whatever I've registered for my LLC, or for if I'm a single sole proprietor, then it's just gonna be me. So the name of your business is not the name of your brokerage. It is your name because you're an independent contractor.
Yes. And I think a lot of times agents make mistakes when doing that. And that's the reason so many people get denied. So, I mean, the easy way to do it, like you said, like Justin and then Simply Vegas,
Yeah, and when you can do that, you don't necessarily need to have Simply Vegas in the name. But when you're doing it, sometimes it'll ask for verification and it'll want you to send a postcard to your address. And when you get that, you can type in the code and verify your business. The other one it'll ask for is a video walkthrough. If it does ask for video validation, what you want to do is make sure that you get the street in front of the business so that they can identify that it is on the street name that you said. And then walk through the business and show both yourself and something in the office with your name on it. That could be a business card. It could be the sign on the door of your office. But you need to show that you have some proprietary right to be in that office. They won't usually license a WeWork space or something like that because it's a different kind of conglomeration. But realtors are specifically called out in Google's terms of service.
Yeah, an easy way, like you said, I always have my agents go outside, I have them hold up their business card, and then we walk inside.
Yeah.
And that usually does the trick.
Yeah, if you have a friend to film you, it's even better if you're in the video. That's going to go a long way to getting that. When we're talking about different places to kind of plant your flag too, you want to make sure that you have your profile fully populated wherever it appears.
Yes.
Places like Realtor.com, Zillow.com, Redfin, anywhere that there's an agent directory or listing.
Right. Like Yelp's a good one. It just like Justin said, it's very important because the more places that your information's listed and hosted online, the more credibility for one, and the more indexed you'll be. So like for SEO and search results, you're going to populate more the more places your name is filled in. And that's why a lot of times we also do work with agents who don't want to use social media, which, I honestly advise against. I feel like everyone should use social media. However, though, some absolutely don't want to. And I still always recommend that they go on there, make a profile, put their first name, last name, realtor, and then if they have a website, put your website link in there as well.
And which all platforms should they be on?
Facebook,
Yep.
Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, and TikTok if you can.
Yeah. I feel like there's some, and especially when you're going to start looking at this and you start going, oh crap, this is overwhelming. How am I going to post to all these places? How am I going to keep track of it? One of the things that you can do is whenever you make a piece of content, Facebook and Instagram, you can patch your pages together, your Instagram and your Facebook page, so it posts on both. When you're looking at the other sites like TikTok and YouTube, if you make a reel for Instagram, you can post that same reel on TikTok and on YouTube Shorts, and all you're doing is reusing the same piece of content.
Yeah.
It has a great kind of reach. What you're doing with all of this and what you're trying to get to is the point at which you have an online presence that's strong enough that when somebody Googles realtor, real estate agent, Las Vegas home buying representative, any weird combination of terms, the Google My Business page will show up as a map location on the right-hand side. It's one of the best SEO moves you can do.
Yep.
And being there is great. It also means you'll show up on a map when they're searching. The other places you're trying to show up is because people search in those places too for all kinds of different information. Yeah, you want to talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, I mean, Justin made a great point. This is like the whole initial audit that we always have when we meet with agents is making sure that you guys do have your online footprint properly established. So, like you said, the more places that you're visible, the more places you're able to be seen. Now, that's step one. Okay, now step two is actually consistently posting in those places. And that's why we do recommend content creation. And honestly, that's just the way that the market is now. It's the way tech is. People are online, so you need to be online too.
But here's where I'll give you a break. So I'm going to let you a little bit off the hook for social media creation because I hear this constantly from agents. There are some who have built their entire businesses on Facebook and Instagram.
Yes.
There are others who have never touched it but have been in the business so long, their referral network is broad and collects people every week. One of the things I learned a long time ago is that this is going to be a weird tangent. You ready?
Uh-oh, let's hear it. Uh-oh.
One of the things I learned a long time ago is that a lot of professional sports players, even Division I athletes, and then anybody that goes pro, a majority of them come from small towns. I'm going somewhere with this. Now, the reason that they come from small towns is because if you live in a small town, you have an advantage in sports that people in big towns don't. People in big towns have enough kids that they fill up the team with the best kids, and then you're kind of a backbencher. So you might be a backbencher in all of the sports. You can try them, but you're going to end up being whichever one's going to give you the most time to play. When you live in a small town, you have to play all of the sports if you're sporty at all.
That makes sense.
And because you have to play all of the sports, you find out what your body's good at, you find out what you like, and you find out where you fit and can thrive. That's the way I want you to think about these different marketing channels. When we start talking about social, when we start talking about mailers, when we start talking about ads, all that other stuff that's going to come later, you're setting the groundwork right now with this list of places to put your face, of trying all the avenues. You don't know which one works for you right now. And so by trying all the avenues, you can see which one you're good at, which one people like you on, and which ones work best.
Yeah, I mean, Justin's absolutely right. Like, that's the thing. So
you're making that my ringtone for Ryan.
I mean, and that's the thing. Like you said, you want to establish your footprint on all of them, but there's some people, like you said, that are going to thrive on YouTube, where others don't like it, and they might thrive on Instagram.
Yeah.
But the only way you're going to find out is by trying all of them, and then once you see what's working, what you like best, push in that area.
The two that we didn't mention that may be on your mind as you're watching this is Twitter, Blue Sky, well, X, whatever they call it now. But all of those, you can be on those, but those tend to be news focused and not related to buying and selling.
Right.
We're moving in that direction. But a presence there, hey, if you find a cool way to market on Blue Sky for real estate, let me know, because I think that'd be a different way to do it. The other place that you're going to want to pay attention to follows up on the buying a domain. You want to buy a domain so that you own a little corner of the internet. And when you own that little corner of the internet, you want to put your face on it, so you need a website.
Yep.
Now, there's several providers out there that make stuff for realtors. At the very least, once you buy a domain, you can redirect it to your page on your local MLS. Your local MLS will have a directory of all the agents, and you'll be on it.
Right.
And if you're on it, then go ahead and take that information and kind of go, I'm there, right? But what you should do is set up a website.
Yes.
It's table stakes to have a website now, and there's several companies that'll help you do it very easily. If you want to do it like really on the cheap, you can do stuff on Wix,
Yeah,
Squarespace.
GoDaddy AI.
GoDaddy will set it up. And that landing page is there.
But I mean, Justin's right though. Like, and that's just the way things are with technology now. Like, if you were going to a business, and I always like to use this as an example, you know, especially like we said, real estate, biggest transaction of a person's life. You want to see that all these areas and bases are checked. You know, like it's like going to try a new restaurant that someone's told you about, and you go to look them up and they're not there. You might be a little bit more hesitant to actually try that restaurant. You know, so just putting yourself out there and establishing that online footprint is going to make your lives a lot easier. And it's also going to help you be more productive.
And when you're looking at website providers, anybody can make you a website. You can get one on Wix, you can get one on the AI stuff, you can pay somebody to make one. You can probably do it yourself. There's a second part of that though, that if you set up now, you'll be ready for the stuff we're going to talk about when we talk about what experienced realtors are doing online. And that's specifically setting it up so that it can get information from the IDX, from whatever your MLS is. Here in Las Vegas, it's the Las Vegas IDX, it's Galvar, or Elvar now. But that feed is specially licensed and syndicated all of the homes here, which means that if you set up a website that's tied into that, you've made your own Zillow.
Right.
It helps you kind of fight against the bigger guys and keep people in your ecosystem. It also, and again, one of the things that all these things do is set you up for the future. You don't have to do it right now, but once you start thinking about running Google ads and Facebook ads, if you already have a place to send them, you're in better shape.
Yep. And Justin's absolutely right. Like, there's been so many times that agents come to us to set up their Google ads, and they're really anxious to get started, and they don't have these first bases covered, and it really prolongs the process.
Yeah.
So like by having at least it set up, it's hooked up to your MLS number, like he said, and it makes it to where, like you said, you can combat Zillow and other places, and it also helps with your professionalism. If someone can go to your website and actually view homes, their chance of using you as an agent are going to increase.
Yeah. Not the last, but this is slightly more advanced, but I want to throw it in here.
Sure.
When you're looking at companies that can do websites, there's companies like Luxury Presence, Lofty, Dot Realtor. So there's a Dot Realtor domain that has integration with the IDX. That's the front end. That's how you get people to see you, to bounce off of you. You need to be organized with your leads. And by that I mean not remembering the phone numbers and going, oh, John's calling. Hi, John. Not looking at your phone and going, okay, which emails have I not answered? those efficiencies are going to pull you back as you start to grow. So you might as well start out right. And there's a thing called a CRM. It's an acronym, but it stands for Customer Relationship Management. All it means is that you're able to see what's going on with all of your people at a glance. You can change them and sort them. At the beginning, even if you just use a Google Sheet or an Excel sheet and go, first name, last name, email, first contact, last contact, notes, you're doing really well.
Yeah.
You're ahead of anybody that's doing it through email, text, and phone calls.
And Justin's right. And having that platform, though, like you said, as you grow and progress, it's better to put these things in place now so that when you are ready to grow, you have everything in place. Because like with your CRM, for example, that's your sphere of influence online, right? So you can calculate and you can check out the analytics of how often you're reaching out to these people. And if you're not reaching out to them, at least you can make a plan that will automatically reach out to them for you. So it's creating more touch points for you. So like the website and the CRM, after you get the basis started of the email and those other things, your website and your CRM are a big area of focus.
Yeah, you're going to want to keep those live. I'm going to check my notes because I'm trying to remember all of the things that we wanted to tell you.
What do you got?
Okay, 2 things that we're going to add on here. And these are the last of the beginner stuff. And they're almost pushing into intermediate because they're setup pieces for running ads. They're also control pieces so that you can see what's going on and have more of a business stance. One of those is Google Analytics and Google Ads. Once you have a Gmail address, if you go to analytics.google.com, on the right-hand corner it says Start Now. Click it. It's going to walk you through a couple of easy steps, and you'll have analytics turned on and a little piece of code that you send to your website. The other one is Meta, which is kind of a pain, to be honest. They're changing their policies all the time, so I'm going to give you a really quick kind of idea of how this works. Facebook now has a business account, and that business account is connected to and controls a business page, and that business account also is connected to and controls an ads account, which is connected to a page. So it's like a little triangle, right? Setting those up isn't as straightforward. I highly recommend following a tutorial online or asking one of us. And then once you have those set up, though, then you're ready for the next step, which is the intermediate step in being able to run ads on those.
And like we said in the beginning, like Justin's absolutely right. You're going to want all these things set up in the beginning to make your process easier moving forward. But Facebook and Google are definitely, if you're looking to run ads, they're like the basis and the nucleus of pay-per-click campaigns and lead generation. So establishing those in the beginning and already having those things in place is just going to make your life easier in the end.
There's a couple of physical collateral things you'll also want to have. You're going to want to have your business cards. Yes. You're going to want to have some kind of a professional headshot or full body shot that you can use. And you're also going to want to have some stuff designed and ready to go for when you go on buyers or sellers sits, when you go talk to people about what you're going to do. You can buy these on websites. There's people that sell them. You can make them yourself on Canva and then have them printed from Canva. So there's ways to do that out there too, but you'll want to have that prepared because that's going to make you look more professional and get the sale.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, like we said, your presentation's everything. Not only online, but actually like physical copy as well, which is why it benefits to have those. We even have listing presentations, everything you guys need. You want to have all that in place before you go meet your potential clients.
And now for the last thing I'm going to point out, this show is sponsored by us. Woo. We're the sponsor. So if you need assistance with any of these things, the easiest way to get a hold of us is on our social media. On Instagram, I am JustinMarket702.
On Instagram, I'm iRuleSocialMedia.
And if you go on there and DM us, we can help you get this stuff set up. If you're in Las Vegas, we can not only help you get set up, but we have deals, special providers, and people that can take care of you.
Absolutely.
So if you're in Las Vegas, you're our focus audience. If you're outside of Las Vegas, still drop us a line. We're happy to help. We're here for that. So again, JustinMarket702.
iRuleSocialMedia.
Bye.
Bye.